Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, roads flooded as powerful nor'easter slams into New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Consolidated has provided advanced communications to homes and businesses, just like yours, for over 100 years. We are committed to being your local communications provider, supported by employees who live and work in the community.
It's going to be a little difficult.
As the nor'easter moved in, some were still taking care of last-minute chores. This fisherman getting his skiff out of the water with a little help. At Cross Beach Road in Seabrook, the water was getting closer every minute.
Well, I'm going to get out of here. Well, I stayed the last time. This time I'm going to leave.
And her neighbor was following suit. Tiffany Jones says they were away for the January nor'easter, but it left enough of a mark so that they're not taking any chances.
Just to see all the stuff in the yard was kind of scary because all the grass and everything was washed up to our front steps.
Lobsters are used to this stuff. Yeah, they can handle it.
But they're about the only ones. At Markey's Lobster Pool, they were resigned to getting flooded again, just like what happened in January.
There isn't much you can do. Just make sure everything that's loose on the outside is buckled down.
Jerry Flynn was also anticipating high waters, and he thinks this could be worse than January.
Because the snow actually acts as a barrier for the most part.
Officials are asking people to stay away from the ocean because of the possible flooding, and Flynn says people need to understand getting too close to the surf is dangerous.
We have all the rocks that some of them are only the size of a softball, and I've seen them come up. You can see there's some debris over there now, but I mean, it's no joke. They come over and they go flying.
The fire chief says you take a live look at Ocean Boulevard here in Hampton, says one of the things that actually is helping them this time is those storm drains aren't clogged with snow and ice. He says one of the other things, too, the flooding does seem to be coming up from the marsh, just like it was back in January. The advantage, though, they're not dealing with 18-inch blocks of ice. Reporting live in Hampton Beach, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Yeah, Ray, thanks. A little bit of good news there. The water is now rushing, though, through the streets of Hampton Beach and getting deeper by the minute.
And our team coverage continues now with Kristen Carosa, who has more on those flooding concerns. Kristen.
Yeah, we're here in Ashworth Avenue, a place that normally floods in storms like this, and actually you can see today is no different. You can see right down the road there's actually a car stuck in the middle of the road. This road here filled up pretty quickly with water this morning. As you can see, the road is closed, and high tide was roughly 30 minutes ago, and this road flooded very quickly, as I just said, along with several side streets. Now, we did drive around this morning, and we saw several streets with quite a bit of water on them, such as Island Path, Brown Avenue, and Hobson Avenue. And as we've said, the greatest threat for flooding along the seacoast today will be midnight tonight and around 12 on Saturday. Now, despite all of this, and as you can see, I don't know if you can hear, but the wind is absolutely whipping right now. Businesses in this main area say they are open and they are ready to take on this storm.
It's nothing new. This, as always, when we get the high tides, is the water comes. Last time the water came all the way till here. And this time, I don't know, they're saying maybe we'll have it again.
Wally's is always open. We've been here with like generators on. Yeah, we got to make sure we service the people.
We never close.
Need some good food. We never close. Yeah. We always have good food at Wally's.
Gotta love their attitudes in a day like today. Again, a live look at Ashworth Avenue, where, as you can see, a car is stuck in the middle of the street here. And then also a good thing to note, it's really important to tie down trash cans and outdoor furniture, because as you can see, many trash cans and a lot of trash is now floating down the street at this hour. You know, the winds are just so very strong. And also, if you're out and about today driving, if you come upon a street that looks flooded, do not attempt to go through it. You will absolutely get stuck. We're live in Hampton. Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Kristen, thank you. Utility companies have extra crews on standby for when those outages start happening. Those strong winds are a big concern, and some areas could pick up some heavy, wet snow. Officials are also warning about the dangers of downed lines in large puddles or floodwaters.
Yeah, just up the coastline from where we saw Kristen, roads are being shut down in Rye as the high tide arrived there. With more on that situation, let's go live to WMUR's Tim Callery, braving the elements. Good afternoon, Tim.
Hey, Sean, I have to tell you, this wind we're experiencing right now is some pretty impressive stuff. Every now and then, we'll just get this huge gust of wind come by, and it's almost hard to stand up. But what's equally as impressive, here it comes right now, that strong wind, is what's going on here behind me. We have such an angry ocean in the background here in Rye, a lot of whitecaps. We're stationed right now here at Genesee State Beach, but I have to tell you, I don't think the beach is in existence right now. The water, as we hit that high tide, came up to the wall here and has been spilling over every now and then. The strong wind that we get just pushing the water into the road, and that's primarily the reason why we are now starting to see some road closures here in Rye. Let's go ahead and take a look at some video of just further up the road at Rye Harbor. Just about a half hour or so ago, as we went to reach that high tide, the town sent out a notice saying that they were shutting down Ocean Boulevard, and I can see while we were up there earlier just getting some video of the harbor, we were there probably for about 5 minutes or so before the water just started really gushing into that area and spilling over on Ocean Boulevard. We did see some cars come by. They were able to get by okay, but that water was rising pretty quickly. And along with this strong wind, it's pushing, as I said, the water over the rock wall, and that's sending water and rocks onto cars, creating some hazardous conditions. The primary reason why the town has closed down Ocean Boulevard. Of course, as I said, this is quite the sight to see here. It's pretty impressive if you do it from a safe distance. A lot of people have been coming here to Genesee State Beach to grab some photos and just to really take in the power of Mother Nature. But officials here in Rye are asking people to stay cautious. They say if you do come out or if you have to be out, they want you to take it easy. Try and avoid Ocean Boulevard if you can at all. They're asking to find a detour around there. We did just see a DOT crew come by here and check things out. But again, back here live at Genesee State Beach, a beach that really isn't here today. Of course, the ocean is starting to take over things here as this nor'easter rolls on. We're live here in Rye this afternoon. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nor'easter knock down trees, flooding to reach new peak overnight. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Major situation coming up with the high tide that's coming at 11:46 tonight. A very
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. We have the wrong video for you. We do not want the weather right now for you. A long-duration nor'easter is hitting eastern Massachusetts hard. Flooding has blocked roads, raging waves slammed waterfront homes, and high winds are downing trees and power lines. The first tide of the storm occurred around 11:15 a.m. Coupled with the high winds, the waves slammed over seawalls and oceanfront communities and flowed over Boston piers. In Boston Harbor, the tide crested around 14.67 inches and about 6 inches short of the record set during the storm on January 4th. Storm Team 5 said the next high tide is around 11:46 p.m. and could be record-breaking. Like the January 4th storm, This one is a bomb cyclone, meaning that the pressure dropped at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. An aerial flood warning is in place of southern Massachusetts, while the North Shore and Cape Cod are under a flood watch. Concerns cover the entire Massachusetts coastline. Winter storm warnings are posted from Friday to Saturday early morning. Governor Charlie Baker activated approximately 200 guard soldiers on Thursday. They will be preparing dozens of vehicles for the likelihood of water rescue operations. Mother, child rescued from floodwaters in Wells. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Now is our moment to strive to our glory and to our destiny.
Our situation is more dire than you may understand. We may lose all our men. This place wants us dead.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Now let's take a look at your U.S. market and see how your U.S. market closed for this Friday evening. And here's a look at the market and how your market did for this Friday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ closed in the flat. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. Euro/2 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Let's look at the markets for this evening and how they closed. S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed higher as healthcare jumps but snap to week winning streak. U.S. stocks closed well off session lows on Friday, helped by a sharp rise in healthcare shares. Dropped SEC inquiry raises new questions about Kushner conflicts of interest. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
At last, the meantime, we turn next tonight to the White House. Just 24 hours after we learned President Trump's longest-serving aide, Hope Hicks, is out. Tonight, growing scrutiny on President Trump's son-in-law and